Well, I am very excited to be joined by, I guess tonight's headline act is how I would describe it. It's Matt Redman in Wiston House here with UCB at the Big Church Day Out. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Nervous about tonight, or is this just kind of coming second nature nowadays?
I'm not nervous, but you know, I want to make it count. It's a lovely moment to be leading when the sun's going down and the lights are coming on.
How hard were you praying for the sun?
Well, I didn't pray about it at all, if I'm totally honest. But it's a nice surprise, isn't it? And actually, it's just a great moment at the end of the day. I think that's why Tim Jupp, who runs the whole thing, he says, look, at the end of the day, I want to draw everyone together, everyone on one page, and you know, so it's a great moment to be leading. Yeah. Definitely.
Now, last time you and I caught up, it was at the Message 20th anniversary, so that's
Yes.
back in November. What have you been doing since then?
We began the year a really great way at the Passion College gathering in Atlanta. Had about 60,000 college students. One big room in Atlanta, which is pretty special, and been doing a lot of songwriting. We're just about to record a new live record next weekend, so
wow,
we're working hard on that.
Flying out to America to do that, I assume.
Yep, going tomorrow, and we've been rehearsing all week in Brighton, so it's been good.
And I guess this is off the back of the success of 10,000 Reasons. When you wrote it, like, do you know that it's going to take off in the way it has? How do you feel when you hear churches up and down the UK kind of adopting that?
It's great. I mean, I have no clue. I just know that all I need to do is write, and then some songs might find wings, you know, and I never know which ones that's going to be. That song was just in a pile. I mean, if it was left to me, I might not have even put it on the album. I was like, I don't know, is this too simple? It doesn't even have a pre-chorus or a bridge, or is it a bit folky? You know, you're kind of second-guessing yourself. And I played it to Nathan, the producer, about 6 days before we recorded, because we wrote that roll close to recording it, and he said, I don't care what song's coming off, but that one's going on. So it's the first inkling that, okay, he likes this song. But when we started to lead it, it definitely connected in a nice way, and I noticed it was connecting with like a 4-year-old and an 80-year-old, you know, and it was a special thing, yeah.
Do your kids sing your songs?
Yeah, but they're very picky with them. They don't like some of them and they love other ones, so...
Would you tell us which ones they say, Dad, that's not so good?
I can't remember, but it's anything that's complicated, really. They like all the simple things, like You Never Let Go chorus, 10,000 Reasons chorus, they like that. You know, it's like when you sing them a bedtime song, like a 3-year-old, you think it should be like a song about how God's with you, or, you know, it's nice kind of simple lullaby, but he goes, can we do the uh-oh song? Which, it doesn't even have any theology in it. It's just uh-oh. So that's a funny thing.
And kids keep you humble, which is always good.
Yeah, they're great at that, aren't they?
Now, they're not here at this weekend, so I guess you get to kind of absorb it and take the whole thing in.
Yeah.
Are there certain artists that you see on a bill that you're like, I want to witness that, I want to be part of that? Who would they be?
I've never seen Amy Grant live, and obviously, you know, her music has been really prominent, you know, in Christian music, so that's special having her here. And I mean, some people are a different league, aren't they? I mean, on her new album, she's got guesting on it like Carole King, James Taylor.
Yes.
You know, well, I could probably get my mum on mine, but that would be on a good day. But so I'd love to see her, and I think Israel Houghton's always brilliant. I mean, he's a good friend, and just musicality-wise, I don't think there's a better Christian worship band on the planet, probably. I haven't heard it, if there is.
Now, I know you collaborated with LZ7. They were performing yesterday on the main stage.
Yeah.
Are there other artists that you've got your eyes on that you'd like to think, oh, I'd love to have them do a duet with?
Oh, I don't know. I love the Hillsong guys, and I've been writing a bit with Ruben Morgan from there recently, and I love, with LZ7, obviously did 27 million last year, and then this year there's a song called After Show, which jumped in some of the lyrics on, and another song called Overcome by Love, which actually is funny. It started as a little folky thing that I was working on, and I suddenly, it hit me one day, this could be a totally different style. And he would nearly finish his album. So we sent him the chorus and said, are you looking for anything? Because I could hear this, and he just did a great job with it. That's
and
really
beautiful as well. They dedicated it yesterday. They did it,
they
dedicated it to their son, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, we sent out a call out on our radio stations and our TV last week for listeners and viewers to get in touch and ask you questions that they want to know, which is really exciting. So we've got Neil.
You filtered them in some way? It's not going to be any.
Would it make you nervous if I said no? Yeah. So Neil got in touch and he says, I know you have a big heart for nations and that God inspires you to write music. What I would like to know is, what is the most extreme situation that you've ever experienced that has inspired you to write a song?
Wow. That's really interesting. One of the first songs I ever wrote, I was sitting in my apartment in Watford and I had a phone call to say my granddad had passed away. And it was the first time I ever had someone close to me who thought, I don't know if this guy knew Jesus. So it was rocking me a bit. And it was actually, and there was a thunderstorm and lightning storm outside. And I just picked up my guitar and started singing like this, Can a Nation Be Changed, which is just a little prayer. And it was really kind of saying like, every second it's kind of too late for someone, like, got to speed things up a bit, do something here. So it's a very simple little song, but that was definitely a dramatic story, I guess.
Wow. And Judith Bruce says, what is the story behind the amazing song 27 Million? So the one we mentioned that you've partnered with LZ on.
Oh yeah, so, well, we really wanted to write a song around that theme. My wife Beth's been very involved with the A21 campaign. And we all had our heart, I think in these moments you got to use whatever's in your hands. And we felt like, well, one thing we could do is use some music. So it was fun collaborating with those guys, but what we decided to do was, Beth had been out to Greece and heard some first-hand stories of people who'd been trafficked, and some of them were just horrendous. And we decided, one of them really stuck out to her. Why don't we just tell her story? So it's really what we did. We took some of the details of the journey Beth knew about and tried to put them into a song. And the great thing about the kind of music that Linz does and LZ7 is you can put a lot of content in there because rap goes by so quickly, right? So that was actually great because you can really have a lot of time to tell a story. And we wrote it together in Manchester and it came together so quick. But I think sometimes if something's really on your heart, it comes out quicker.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments where there wasn't any sitting around or what we're going to do in verse 2. It was a great moment. Now, I feel over the years we are starting to get to know each other a little bit better. It's quite nice, yeah. But there are a lot of our listeners who don't, so we're going to do the get to the point, the hot 5 questions. So you've got questions A or questions B. Which one are you going to go for, Matt Redman? B, thanks.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
It's Christian. On your marks, get set.
But did you really have A and B?
I did. Look.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
I'm impressed.
I'm not lying.
Oh, I like A better.
Tough. On your marks, get set, go. If you could be a children's character, who would you be? Film, book, TV, doesn't matter.
Man, Inspector Gadget.
Oh, good
Love
choice.
Gadgets.
Who musically inspired you to get started?
Wow. You know what? When I was a teenager, there was this guy, I'm pretty sure his name was Richard Cutting. And my mum was a youth leader and went on this, when I was a kid, I went on these weekends and this guy came and did music. And I looked him up on the internet. I've never managed to find him. Maybe someone could, I've always wanted to track him down. I think it was Richard Cutting. I've always wanted to track him down and tell him how much he inspired me to get into music. So some guy that maybe someone out there knows, but I don't know. So.
Wow. Who would you want to play you in your autobiographical film?
Well, based on my height, maybe Tom Cruise.
Fair play.
Or Danny DeVito's another option, I guess.
Ah, don't put yourself down. What is your favourite Bible verse at the moment?
Wow, that's a good one. I do like Ephesians 5:10. It says, find out what pleases the Lord. To me, that's what the heart of worship is, finding out how can you live, what can you do, what can you sing, what can you bring that's going to please God.
And finally, tell us about your best or your worst fan experience, which I guess is a bit of a weird thing as a worship leader, but you are on that platform, I guess.
I don't know if I am. I don't think I've had, I just have nice chats with people. I don't think I've had any weirdness. All my friends have had a lot of weirdness, but not me.
That is good.
Mine's, I don't really have anything. That's boring, isn't it? But no.
Probably quite a relief. I would expect, rather than getting some of the weird ones.
Yeah, could be, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, what have you got between now and leading tonight? Do you have any pre-show prep? What do you do before you get on stage?
Well, we always just run through this list together, and we talk. The thing we talk about the most is transitions between songs, because that's a really important thing as a worship leader. So we'll be doing all that. I've got my American band over, which will be fun. So
nice.
We're trying to get ready for the recording next week. So it's a good place to break them in, right? Big church day out. We're going to do a couple of new songs tonight.
Which ones? Is this
One's
an
called
exclusive?
Sing and Shout, which I wrote with George Mondera and Willie Weeks, who worked with us at Seven, and then there's a song called Mercy, which I wrote with my friend Jonas.
Well, we look forward to hearing them, and we look forward to worshipping with you later. It's Matt Redman at the Big Church Day Out.